Good morning. We're down to Berkey here. They haven't brought my gypsum yet, so we're waiting on that truck to come. I brought Dad with me. He's going to do some work with the backhoe and then take that home after we're done with it. We need some stone over there, so while we're waiting for our gypsum to come, we decided to come back to the home farm here and load up some of our stone pile for the driveway. So that's where we're at. So this is the ditch here that we had cleaned out this summer, and Dad leveled all the spoils off. That's why it's a little different here, or dirt instead of wheat stubble, double crop bean stubble. And part of that project was to widen our driveway, so he extended the culvert through there, added some dirt on it. Now he's getting it leveled up and packed down, and then we're going to dump this stone on top of there. So also fixed a tile outlet that we had coming into here. Make it much nicer for jumping across from the other side with the combine with the head on. And yeah, I mean, we did it this year. We're doing the wheat and the double crop beans, I think, but there used to be a post on this side of the driveway that was real close to hitting the bottom of the head. And it was a pretty narrow driveway just to get the combine across anyway, and much less trucks trying to get out and make that turn. This will make it much nicer. We've only been farming these fields for 80 years, so, about time we fix the driveway, right? Well, this is a little frustrating. So we got our driveway done, taken care of here. Dad's down there doing some digging with the backhoe. I'm sitting here waiting for this gypsum. Now, when I talked to the driver yesterday when he dropped the first load off, which they did a great job getting me that load here quickly, he said, well, they would be here in the morning with the second load. And I said, okay, any idea what time? He said, well, they open at 6:30. All right, great. Place is maybe a half an hour from here. It is now 10 o'clock and he's not here yet. And I am just sitting and waiting, and it's super frustrating because I got to get back to Waldron and spread all that potash today. And I was really counting on this being here when we got here by 9 or 8:30 this morning so that I could get it spread. It's not here. I'm sure it's not the truck driver's fault. I don't know, maybe something happened. I don't know what the issue is, but they haven't called me either to let me know, and it's getting frustrating. Update. I called the dispatcher. Guy's loading now. Probably going to be about an hour or so before he gets here. Apparently he's had to do another load this morning before he did mine. I don't know. Whatever. That's frustrating. But Dad's leaving me. He's taking the pickup, heading back to Waldron. So we're just going to sit here and wait. And when we're done, we'll take the spreader and go. But it's looking unlikely that we're going to get all our potash spread today. So I'm going to get rained on. We're going to need a fertilizer storage barn to prevent this from happening in the future. Plans, sometimes plans. I tell you what, I had this all planned out. It was going to work. And then a 4-hour delay in trucking makes everything not work right. We gotta fix that. Finally, there's my truck. It's afternoon. Oh, that's been a lot of waiting. Okay, let's get this done so we can get out of here. See how this stuff dumps out of the trailer, right? It's sort of sticky. There it comes. All right. Now we can start loading. All right. We are off and loaded and running here. And very dirty rear window. Sorry, guys. Anyway. We got 25,000 pounds in the spreader, and we're going to spread this field. I don't know, we should use it all up. We'll go reload. We got the little one across the road, and then the other one's down the road, so that's going to take us a little while. But yeah, we'll get this done. It'll take me probably 2 hours, and then we'll head west and see what we can do. Load number 2. What did we do on that first one? 28 acres. About half. We did about half the field. Okay, that's good. Last pass of this field. And we're not empty, but getting close to empty. It says we've got 5,000 pounds in there yet. That's probably pretty close. We got that 13 acres across the road. We won't have enough in the spreader here to do that, so we're going to go and load it up, maybe not real full, but just enough to do that, and then we'll reload again and take the full load over to our other field. That other field is, so that there's the 3 here real close, plus the one across the road. There's 4 fields real close. The other one, the one where we started spreading lime, it's over by the roundabout and the housing development over there, the subdivision. That one's probably, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 3.5 miles from here. It's not far, but it's far enough that we're going to have to make 2 trips with the gypsum, so let's make sure the spreader's full and we don't have to make 3 trips. About that not loading it real full thing, I forgot. Anyway, I don't know. I think there's more than a full spreader load there yet, so this will actually work out really well because we'll go spread some of this out and be able to put enough in there that we can come back and have what will fit on a spreader load once we're done. Anyway, let's go. 13 acres, let's go. All right, well, we got this one done. Looks like that. 15,000 pounds on the spreader, but we'll go load it up, and then we should be able to get the rest of it on the last load there. Here it is, last field. There's 78 acres in this one, I believe. We should have just about the right amount of gypsum. I kind of had planned it so we would have maybe just a little bit left that I could make a round in a field back up to Waldron. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I even contemplating leaving a round out of this field, kind of as a check strip, just to see. My general experience with check strips is they cost me money, so I'm a little hesitant to do that, especially when I know I'm putting sulfur down. That's something that we need. But it would prove a point in how good the gypsum does for us, or whether or not it's as good as I think it is. Anyway, so we might do that, which would save a little bit of product that we can just leave it in the spreader and take it back to Waldron with us. So anyway, we're going to spread this until it's empty, go reload everything that we've got left over there, and then we'll finish it up. Just about down to the end here. You kind of see stuff falling down as it's yeah, like that. The belt keeps pulling out from underneath, and then you get these little avalanches. A bunch of loose stuff that then works its way out. You can kind of see through the window a little bit. And yeah. Anyway, I don't. What does it say? We got 5,000 pounds. We'll probably make it back to the other end, and we'll go back and reload, finish loading the sprayer up. So. All right, well, we got our pile basically cleaned up. There's a little stuff here. I'm just going to scratch it around. This spot here is going to be a little heavy in the gypsum. It'll be okay. We'll get down here with the ripper and work it in. And our spreader is full. So, I'm glad we topped it off there after we did the last one, because otherwise we wouldn't have made it all in 2 trips over there, so that's good. Well, when we came back over to the field here, I started on the opposite side. So we had spread this the first time, or perimeter to field, and started over here, and then I came in and started on that side, next to the houses. We're spreading back towards the middle. That way, if we do run a little short, which we're not going to, I don't think, we'd have a strip in the middle, or if I get to this, spot where we've got 1 round left and I decide I don't want to spread it, yeah, it'll be right in the middle of the field, and we'll have a decent strip there for comparison purposes. So. But I think we're going to be pretty close to what we were supposed to have. Well, maybe I'm going to have a forced trial. I was going to leave one anyway, but we're not going to have quite as much as I thought. So I have 3 passes left here that haven't been spread. Oh, look, there goes another tractor and a spreader. That's the typical spreader that our retailers will let you rent. A little Wilmar spreader. If anything that I've learned about spreading with this one is that those spreaders, they're not very accurate, because there's a lot that goes into making this one work right. And yeah, I mean, it's fine, they get the product out there, but I don't know if it's at the right rate or the right pattern. Anyway, we've got 3 passes left. I was going to do one more, and we're going to be basically empty by the time we get there. So, or I could leave 3 and quit now. The other thing I could do is go across the corner over there onto our corn stalks. Now, they've already been disked, but I could use the product up there and try some on corn stalks that'll be planted to beans next year, which wouldn't be the worst thing to try. That's what I was going to do back to Waldron anyway. Question is, do I leave my trial here or take it back there? Well, I spread it so that we have a full 2 passes, 120-foot gap there, and there was basically not very much left. So we're going to just overlap some of this early stuff. We'll have a heavy rate strip too, but it's going to start tapering off because the gate's not going to stay full here because we just don't have that much product left in the box. It's empty. I went in and kicked the stuff that was stuck to the sides and the back corners down there. Just kind of manually holding the button to make the belt turn as fast as it'll go to get the box empty. And we're gonna head for home here. So part of the problem with leaving a little bit in there is that it kind of the product empties from the front to the back, and so when you only have, you know, say 5 or 10,000 pounds even in the back of the cart, it gets pretty back heavy, and that makes it a little uncomfortable going down the road, especially for a 35-mile trip. So I decided that probably wasn't a good idea. If I had a little pile left there and I could fit it on the spreader, that'd be one thing because I could load the front, but I also don't want to take 30,000 pounds on the spreader back with me either. So it's all good. Well, it is about 3:30 and way later than I was hoping to be leaving here, but we're hitting the road. We're going to spread as much potash this afternoon, tonight, as we can. We're going to be spreading well after dark, it looks like. But I want to try and use up most of that pile if possible, or at least some of that pile. So it is what it is. It'll be fine. Let's get out of here. Well, we made it. 4 hours later than I wanted it to be. But look at this. I pulled in. Haven't even walked across the road yet. There's my loader. And Brock in the 9R. I mean, he must have broke something. Anyway, we're going to load this thing up. We got to get her configured for fertilizer again. Get our gate closed down, and we'll get our insert that's in the shop. That piece there is what we forgot yesterday. I think I did pretty good with my little plastic sign bin on there. It's about the same to me. This loader's way better for loading that spreader. We're good. We got a pile. I got more reach and I can go higher, so I don't have to worry about hitting the sideboards, and I can hit the middle of the spreader much easier from one side. So anyway, we're good. Let's go spread this one out, come back and do it again. Looks like we're gonna have at least 3, maybe 4 spreader loads there. We don't have to finish spreading it tonight, we just have to get it in the spreader, ideally. So most of what we're gonna spread, maybe all of what we're going to spread today, most of what we've got left, is corn stalks that we put chicken litter on last year. So it's a straight rate. I think it's 140 pounds to the acre, so relatively low for potash. But that's what we've got to do. We're going to have to just cover a lot of acres to get this used up. First thing we're going to do is head up to our irrigated field. We've already spread most of that field, but I think there's like 25-ish acres left there that we need to do. So we're going to finish that, and then we'll jump across the river, and we've got a 57-acre piece. We'll have some left, and then we got another 100 up the road here, and another 100 or 75, a couple other fields. So those are going to be the first targets. The wheat field, the wheat stubble where the pile is setting, needs to get done yet. But that might be something that we'll do after, I don't know, we'll see. We got those tile lines to go around back there. It's kind of a pain. We might get there tonight, we might not. We might just load the spreader up, put it in the barn when we get the pile cleaned up full, and not worry about it in the dark tonight. Oh, this is the first time I've been up here by our irrigated field for a while. There's the rain machine. Look, our new electric pole is in. We've got power, real power. We'll have to go check that out sometime. Okay, well, we got our everything set up for potash here and should be good. We'll have to double check our rates again, just like anytime we switch products, because we change that gate opening, and when we change that gate opening, if we don't get it back exactly where it was before when we had everything dialed in, then it's going to be a little bit different. So make a couple rounds. If we're off a little bit, we can either adjust the gates or the density or something and get her dialed back in. It won't take too much. Also, we brought in 100 tons, or no, 150 tons, 100,000 pounds of potash in those two piles that are sitting there. And we really needed, like, what did we need? Let's see, I'm trying to remember. I think I needed 38 tons to do everything, or maybe it was something around 40. And so we're going to have plenty of potash, so I'm actually going to up my rate by 10%. So we're putting on 110% of the scripts in the background because, well, most of the fields we have to spread, we pulled 230 plus bushel corn off of. We had really good crops. We made pretty good money on them. We can afford to put a little bit of fertilizer, a little bit of extra fertilizer back in. This potash is cheaper than we've paid for potash in a long time, partially because we're doing the spreading ourselves, so we got a better rate on it, partially because potash is on the cheaper side right now. And so it was easier to just get 2 full truckloads in than to get 1 full truckload and then a partial, and I was going to pay more for that anyway, and it just made more sense to do it this way. So that's what we're doing. So like I said, we already have most of this field done. We came up here with a full load of potash before and spread the whole thing out. We basically have from here over to do, but it's mostly that triangle and the point rows here. Just a few long passes to go before we're just in these short rows. So this one won't take us too long. And this is not a straight rate, like I said everything was before. This field's going back to corn next year, so it's corn on corn. And so we're putting extra potash on based on the fertility zones, the soil test results from a year ago. This field a year ago did get 2 tons of chicken litter and no MAP, no potash. We used the chicken litter as our fertilizer source, and it was straight rate applied. So variable rating potash this year ahead of next year's corn allows us to kind of to even things out, or to correct for variation in our soil, and to put more where we need it or less where we don't. All right, so we made a round. Our scale says we're at 21,910. Rate controller says we should be at 21,498, so we're off by about 400 pounds. So we need to open up our gate a little bit. We're gonna go like 2 cranks. All right, we have made it into the points. A little rough over here. Last pass, this little corner piece here. Done. Okay, now, the next field we need to go to is right across the river over here. Somewhere over here. I'll show you. Somewhere over here, right about here. We have a spot that we used to drive through this river. When we very first started farming this farm back in the mid-90s, this triangle piece of this field, let's see, this triangle back here was separate from the rest of this. We didn't farm this yet. We farmed this one, but we didn't farm the main square part. And there was a fence row through here. So the only way to get to this was right through there. If I don't go through that, we have to drive out here to the road, up here to the corner, out to this road, all the way back, down around here, over, well, way down here, and in. It's a 3-mile trip around. Or we go across the river that hasn't been used for farm equipment. I go through there with the gator occasionally in a very long time. And I'm pulling a spreader that has 16,000 pounds of fertilizer in it. Is it worth the risk? No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. If it wasn't dark and I had maybe had some help in case I did get stuck, we'd think about it. But nah, I can't do that. Not worth the risk. So we'll take the long way around. We'll go back out to the road, out to that road, out to that road, and then back around the section. All right, we made it around the block. Oh, and by the way, the reason we have to go 3 miles around the block instead of just coming out the road and up to and around the corner is because there's a bridge that is a 7-ton bridge, and the fertilizer in our cart weighs more than 7 tons, so we can't go across that bridge with the equipment. So anyway, this field is corn stalks, straight rate, going to beans next year. 140 is the recommended. Like I said, we're going 10% over that, so that's 154 pounds to the acre. Triangular shaped field, which is super fun, but this is dang good field, and we'll do it. We'll put some potash on, then we'll get up here with the disc sometime and get this done. So I have been creating a boundary track for all of these fields to do the perimeter, and then we'll do the main line on the long side of the field and work our way down to the point. See, we would have come out right there. We probably could have made it. Should have tried it, right? Should have tried it. Oh well. Oh, we've got the long rows done now, and we're in the short rows with lots of turns behind the house. Doesn't look like we're almost done, but of the 57 acres in this field, we've got 42 done. Yeah, we're almost done. We just got lots of turns to make. All right, we got that triangle field done. We've got about 7,000 pounds left in the spreader. The field that is between here and our pile is 100 acres. Debating whether we go home and just reload or we spread this out on the way. I think we'll spread it out. What the heck, right? We might as well. It's on the way. Problem is we aren't going to make it all the way around the field, I don't think. Not with just 7,000. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. See if we can get the perimeter of it done, and we'll go reload and spread another one. The corn stalks in this field look different. Why is that? Oh, yeah, I know. We used a 16-row corn head with no stalk stompers. This is the field that we ran the X9 in. First time I've been in it since we were up here combining. It's a big one. 100 acres, looks like that. And we're going to put 154 pounds of potash on per acre all the way around this. So, yeah, it's not, we don't have that many rows in a row of unrun over stalks in most of our fields. So, yeah, this is, it's different. It looks different. All right, I made it farther than I thought. I didn't do the math in my head, but we perimetered the field and made one round. Looks about like that. But we're down to less than 1,500 pounds in the spreader, so I don't know if I can make another round or not. I think we started that round with about 3,000, so we're gonna go reload. We'll come back up here and finish this one. Oh, you can't see it. The pile's a lot smaller than it used to be. We got another full load. We've got more than one load sitting there yet, though, so we're going to have to spread 2 more out tonight and then we'll get the pile. You see the deer? There's 3 of them. I just keep chasing them back and forth. Just laying out here in the corn stalks. I am wrecking this poor buck's night. He has chased this doe back and forth about 10 times. From one side of the tractor to the other. They just keep running right in front of me. Yeah, next field. The corn stalks look lots different where we ran our corn head for a couple of reasons. One, we have more tracks, right? Because we're 8 rows instead of 16 rows here. And 2, our stalk stompers and our snapping rolls are different. We have stompers, which the other head did not, and the snapping rolls were different, so they look different. Now, all these stalks that you still see standing, which there's lots less of them because a lot of them are laying down from the stompers, but even these ones are broken off where they're going to bend over pretty easily and start breaking down faster. So it doesn't look quite as pretty, I guess, but it's better agronomically to have them knocked over and breaking down. Anyway, we're going to get this one done here, and then there's a little piece on the other side of a ditch over here that we'll do. It's only like 8 acres. And I think we've got enough. I guess I'm not sure if we've got enough product to finish this or not. We might have to go back and reload and come back over here. Okay. Well, we had enough in our spreader to finish this field, and we're just getting done with The little one. Not that page, this page. So the other field was up here. That way. Anyway, got about 3,000 pounds left here. We do not have another field between here and our pile. And we need fuel. That fuel bar is right down at the end. So we're gonna head back to the farm. We're gonna fuel up and fill up and then go find another field to spread. I'm trying to go through the list in my head because I got somewhere around 50,000 pounds of potash there yet, and I'm like, I can only think of 3 fields that need spread yet. One of them is corn stalks. One of them is the wheat field where the pile's sitting, and the other one is the field that's currently being tiled, and we can't spread right now anyway. But I don't know if that's enough to use up the pile. So I'm like, what else do we got to spread? There's got to be something more. We're going to go look at our sheets back at the farm. All right. There's still a bit of a pile there, but it's smaller than it was, and our spreader is fuller than it has been. But we're going to go spread that, and we'll come back and try and clean the pile up, at least get the vast majority of it. So we're close. Ah, look at that. 14 tons. That's 14 tons of potash. Perfect. I did check my paperwork to see what all we got left to do. I was right on those 3 fields and then forgot one. That's a small one. It's only 15 acres, but yeah, so I knew we were going to have a bunch of extra potash. Like, I ordered an extra 10 tons-ish. So I added up what's left for the 4 fields that we need to do, and it's about 16 ton. I figured there was 25 there. Yeah, it's about 10 ton. And we're using a little more than what's on the paper because I'm putting 10% over on. So we're still going to have a little extra. We'll go find somewhere to spread it out. It isn't going to hurt anything. Potash pretty well keeps in the soil. It's just as good as money in the bank. So we'll figure out what the best spot to do that is. But give me that chance to build some K levels to ridiculous levels that I've always wanted to try. Just see what happens to our yields, right? This field gets a little bit of a higher rate of potash. So this one got chicken litter as well last year, but instead of 140, they had 160 as the base rate. We bumped it 10%, so we're actually putting on like 175 pounds. And we've got a few raindrops on the windshield. That's not great. But we'll use up a fair bit of this pile in this field here, and then hit another one and try to get our pile cleaned up. So we'll see how we do. I just looked at the radar. We may run out of time. We'll see. We're gonna try and get this one done. I'll try and do as much as we can. We'll at least get the spreader down some. We can pick up a little bit more of that pile if we can get this done, even if it's starting to rain and we can't keep spreading. I don't know. Yep, it's getting a little rainy. We're gonna finish this one. We're about half done with the field, but I think we're gonna have to call it quits after that. So the pile's shrinking. There's still a lot in there. We'll load up what we can and be good enough, I guess. All right, again, it all looks the same to you guys, doesn't it? Yeah. Anyway, finishing up this little bitty spot up here, and we got this one done. We're down to about 14,000 pounds in the spreader. We did use it up. We got room to stuff some more in there, so let's go do it, right? Let's see what we can do. We aren't going to get it all, but we'll get most of it. It is, in fact, raining. All right, well, that's what we got left. Our spreader's full. We're going to call it a night. That's why we need a barn. Dad did say something about he hadn't having a tarp if I thought we needed to cover it. I don't know. That we did this before. The last time we had a potash pile here, it got rained on, and it was fine. It spread fine. It's not that big of a deal. I'm not going to worry about it. There's not very much there, and we got the majority of it. We got the majority of it spread. We got the rest of it on the spreader. Put that in the barn. It'll be okay. Well, I was putting stuff away, and I see Dad has his truck already with the tarp and pallets to hold it down. So I guess we'll go throw it on that pile. Good enough. 10:30. Well, if we wouldn't have had to wait for 4 hours this morning, we would have gotten it done. But that's okay. We did fine. We got most of it used up. That is the last of the fertilizer, last of the spreading that we've got to do is what's in there and that little bit of the pile that's left. So I will see what we get for rain tonight and tomorrow. It's supposed to be raining most of the morning, it sounds like, and overnight tonight. So we may end up with some out of it. I don't think it's going to be super significant, but we got a lot done this week, spreading and tillage-wise. We're down to about 60-ish acres of bean stubble to chisel here at Waldron, plus the corn stalks, the irrigated field that's going back to corn, and then the stuff at Berkey. And we got a whole lot of corn stalks disked. Phil and Dad did this week, so that is good. We're making progress there, but still got a ways to go. What else? I don't know. Thanks for watching this one. Have a great night. If it's raining a bunch tomorrow, I might not make a video. I might spend the day doing paperwork and seed business stuff. And we'll see from there. So have a great night. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you would for me, please. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Oh, by the way, head on over to Farm Focus. Grab yourself a Border View Farms hoodie. They're very nice, super comfy, fit really well, and support my channel and the good folks over there at Farm Focus. Would appreciate that. So have a great night. My gosh, they're freaking everywhere. I missed my driveway watching the deer, but yeah, standing right up here eating my straw.